Hey everyone, Jeff here. It's almost Halloween, and it's a very appropriate time to enter into Dr. Deadwax's thread. 666 subscribers, so first of all, congratulations, man, on getting the 666 subs. It's very, very cool. But anyway, he wanted us to show some metal that we have in our collections, and I'm a huge metalhead. I have been for really since I started listening to music. So I have a lot of metal to show. Don't have very much on vinyl just because it's expensive where I live, and I don't like spending a lot on vinyl, but I do have more metal CDs than I know what to do with. So I just pulled a few cool ones to show, and also a couple of records. So I'm going to go straight into what I have to show. I'm going to try and keep this video short. So Abandon All Life by Nails. Very noisy grindcore. Some people would say that this isn't metal. To me, this is definitely metal. It got kind of a sludgy edge in the last track. Not a great album for me, but very cool. Another one I have here is Fate's Warning, Awaken the Guardian. This is with John Arch on vocals. Tremendous album. I've shown this one a couple times. Be Tear by Enslaved. This is a masterpiece. Still one of my favorite albums from 2012. Very awesome. Got a couple classics here that really everyone's heard. Machine Head by Deep Purple. This needs no introduction, and neither does Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Got a couple more metal records I want to show. Among the Living by Anthrax. This is a thrash metal classic, so I had to pull this and show. Also wanted to show Psychogrotesque by Aborum. I believe these guys are out of Italy. They're industrial, kind of dark, progressive black metal band. This album is super cool, and if you happen to find a copy, this is something to definitely check out. The last record that I want to show is Vis Licet Taurus by Bursum. This is Norwegian black metal. I've shown this before, and like I've said before, Varg isn't a cool guy. Don't really endorse what the guy believes, but this is a tremendous album, and if you can get past the fact that, it was made by a guy that, has done some pretty questionable things, the music is fantastic. Very dark, atmospheric, and the last song here I would even call beautiful. So, really great stuff. Now I'm going to move real quick into the CDs. I pulled a bunch, and I just want to fly through these. Some of these might be interesting to some of you, and if you don't care for CDs, then, don't feel the need to leave a comment just, about how you don't like CDs. Just don't keep watching. What you're hearing in the background is Altars of Madness by Morbid Angel. Love Morbid Angel, and this album, it's a debut, fantastic, and that's why you're hearing in the background. Love this album, can't get enough of it. It's Halloween, so I pulled Abigail by King Diamond. Love King Diamond, and this is probably my favorite King Diamond album, so very cool. Also pulled Soulside Journey by Dark Throne. This is a Norwegian band that most people know as a black metal act, but they actually started out as a death metal band, and this album is like a twisted version of Swedish death metal, and it's just so good. And I do like the later Dark Throne, but for me this is really their best thing. So very nice. Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. No introduction. This is just one of my favorite albums. Everyone knows this, and if they don't know it, definitely check it out. Omnivium by Obscura. German, I believe, technical death metal band, and this is just killer front to back. It takes plenty of cues from Death, Atheist, Cynic, but it's got an original kind of modern sounding twist. Really love this. A couple old school death metal albums I have sitting out. Cause of Death by Obituary. Fantastic American death metal. Love this. Unorthodox by Edge of Sanity. Edge of Sanity is one of my favorite bands, and this is the second album of theirs. Really great old school Swedish death metal. So very good. Also pulled out my copy of, where is it? Eaten Back to Life by Cannibal Corpse. I'm not really a huge fan of Cannibal Corpse, particularly the early stuff feels a little bit one-dimensional to my ears, but still, the cover's really just cool, very campy horror movie looking, and for Halloween it's very fitting. So, figured I'd show that. Streets, a rock opera by Savatage. Love Savatage. Very good kind of power metal, heavy metal, very good. In a similar vein is Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. Love this album. Definitely want to find it on vinyl. I've been listening to this all the time for years now. This is one that very rarely leaves my rotation. So very, very good. Now I have a couple other death metal things here I want to show real quick. First one of those is Unquestionable Presence by Atheist. Very technical stuff, very jazzy stuff, and just awesome. Very good album. Also have Death with the album Human. I have, a lot of other Death stuff, but this one is signed by most, or maybe all, of the Death to All lineup. I see Steve DiGiorgio, Paul Masvidal, Matt Harvey from Exhumed was the guitarist and vocalist on that tour. So no Chuck signature because, the Death to All tour was like last year. But anyway, very great classic album. Annihilation of the Wicked by Nile. Very technical stuff. Amazing stuff. It's got that Egyptian theme going. And if you like technical death metal, this is essential. Got one more signed item, Awake by Dream Theater. This is signed by Mike Portnoy, who used to be the drummer, was the drummer on this album. This is a classic progressive metal album, needs no introduction. Also pulled The Human Equation by Arion. Again, classic progressive metal opera type thing going on here. Fantastic album. So, wanted to show that real quick. Morning Star by Entombed. No one really talks about this album when they talk about Entombed, but this is one of my favorite Swedish death metal albums, and if you like Left Hand Path and Clandestine and you haven't heard this, definitely need it. Necroticism by Carcass. I've really been digging their new album lately, but I don't have a physical copy of it. So I pulled this to show. Love Carcass, especially their more death metal era. Love this album. Pulled Morning Rise by Opeth. I was just talking about Opeth the other day, but I talked about Blackwater Park, so I decided to pull Morning Rise. Again, something I've listened to for years, and just lots of good memories with this album, and very great. I mean, Opeth goes without saying how great Opeth is. One more I want to show is a very rare one, Far Beyond Divine Horizons by Crystal Age. This is one of the more expensive CDs that I own. I found this in a bargain bin for some reason. Got it like under $5. I just bought it because that cover just really looks spacey. Brings to mind Nocturnus, the death metal band that used keyboards. Brings to mind that. The music isn't as great as the cover, but still really cool. Wanted to show that for the cover alone. Excuse me. So those are all the metal things I want to show. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. And I guess by the time most folks watch it, it's probably going to be Halloween. So happy Halloween to everyone. Congrats to Dr. Deadwax, and I'll see you all in the next video.